Director Judd Apatow brings together Adam Sandler, Seth Rogen, Jonah Hill, and Jason Schwartzman in the most kosher movie this summer, Funny People. Vaughn on Movies, brought to you by Your Ad Could Be Here. Keep that in mind. Hey, welcome to Vaughn on Movies. I'm your host, Vaughn Fry. I'm taking a look at Funny People. Adam Sandler plays a parallel version of himself, George Simmons, a movie star who used to be a stand-up comic. Early on, we see a lot of footage of Sandler as he rose up to fame. Many of the props you see on the wall in his house mirror the kind of movies he's been in. There's one called Redo, where he's a grown man who turns into a baby. He's got like his head on a baby's body. There's also Merman, a movie where he's a mermaid male. These are kind of like ideas for Adam Sandler movies that just haven't been made yet. Unfortunate for George, he has been diagnosed with cancer. One of the first things he does when he hears about this is head to a local club to work on a stand-up routine. There he runs into Ira, who is played by Seth Rogen, an aspiring comic who's currently working at a deli. After bombing on stage, George decides to have Ira write some jokes for him. Though Ira has to write jokes for him, he finds himself being a personal secretary and a friend. Thus, a bromance is started. Bromance is the N-word for 2009. It's what 2008 had going with Green. If you've seen the trailers, it goes on to include, and of course I'm not really giving away spoilers because I wouldn't give out something integral to the plot that's not in the advertising material, but the trailer does state that he overcomes his cancer and wants to pursue a relationship with an old flame. The problem is we spend over half the movie with him having cancer and fighting it, only to already know that he's going to overcome it and then focus the second half of the movie on his old flame. So we actually have two very different movies. Unfortunately, the characters in both of these movies are incredibly unlikable. George Simmons is simply a horrible guy. He treats everybody like dirt, really doesn't have any friends, had a girlfriend he cheated on. It's like watching A Christmas Carol, only Scrooge stays the course. Unlike many critics, I don't believe that a movie has to contain a likable lead character. Unfortunately, when the movie asks for you to be sympathetic for this character, and he's the biggest jerk ever, that creates a problem. Leslie Mann is Sandler's counterpart here, the girl he's trying to win back. Now she's gone on to marry Eric Bana, and she has 2 daughters. I suppose in a shrewd, cost-cutting effort, the director and star decide to put their daughters in the movie. Their acting is horrendous. You can almost see the cue cards. This is a movie with a very serious tone. It just deals with people whose jobs are in comedy. That does not mean it's actually a comedy. It's not even that particularly funny. I came in expecting to laugh occasionally because the trailers had some pretty good jokes in them. 75% of those jokes are not in this movie. There are some jokes that rely on failing. For example, Jason Schwartzman's character is getting $25,000 a week from NBC to star in Yo Teach. The funny thing with this is when they go on set, all the jokes are very lame, and that's supposed to be funny for the audience, to laugh at their misfortune of playing it safe jokes. The trouble is, the jokes that found in the rest of the movie are just all male genitalia left and right, and so it gets worn out. It makes you beg Sandler and Rogen to talk about something else for a change. Ultimately, Sandler is so unlikable in this movie. While Mann and Bana are equally unlikable, we have no reason to want anybody to have a happy ending. In its effort to really move you, it does nothing because you can't relate to these characters. The concept seems fresh. It's just not quite refined. I gotta give Funny People 2.5 stars, and if you're asking would I recommend it, I would mildly turn it down. I suppose in a shrewd cross-cutting effort,